All right, let me see if I can get together a probability lesson. First things first, I do not want to go through making up another graph config. I would much rather just copy that. So I'm going to get that out of the way, then see if I just add this. See if that looks good. It's a little too far. Shift that. Shift it here, it looks like. Okay, we'll see. This is more in the center of the screen. That's a lot better. Not in the center, but that's where I want it. All right, I'm actually gonna keep that up. Put that there, and then let's actually not move this so far left. Let me see what it looks like. Maybe just two. A little better. Maybe I just want two edge here. Let's see how that goes. Okay. And then down times 3. Okay, I think this looks good. I'm gonna see if I can do a coin flipping animation. Shouldn't be too hard. I wonder if that'll... Maybe that'll be too simple. Because if I have time progressing forward and I want the graph to grow... I guess I can do this with an updater. So the way I'll do this... I think I'm gonna end up doing this always redraw. And I'm gonna do it based on this coin flip data. So let me try that. So first of all, I'm gonna need a function to get the coin flipping data. So maybe I'll just put for an example. Hey Kilakoda, what's up? For an example, I think I'm gonna go with coin flips equals maybe I'll just put heads, tails, heads. No reason to make that H, T, H, H. Okay, and then I can just do something like, I can just make it a character. H and the character T. Something like this. And then I want a function called draw flip data. All right, and this is gonna have to take read in the coin flips and then plot the probability based on that. So how this works should be 4 flip in coin flips. I'm going to want to have a dot and a line. and a line. And I'll have to place the first flip on my own. So why don't I do this? Actually, I'll also have to calculate the running probability. So I'll say, not inclined bottles. Indeed. I don't know what you mean by that. So I'm going to save this cumulative probability. Okay. I'll say, I'll do the first flip manually. I'll say if coin flips at 0 equals H, cumulative probability equals 1. I'll say else instead of the coin. Sounds complicated. So I'll set this to none, do that. Okay. And then I'll place the dot there. Move to. And it should be the far right of the graph and either at 1 or 0. So this shouldn't go from 0 to 7. But I'll say input to graph point. I guess that won't help me. I'll have to do plain dot like get point or something. What is it, like chords to point? And I guess I'll have to do 5, which is an arbitrary number, and then 7 times. You know, I'm just gonna make these 1s and 0s. I think that'll make the math work out easier. So this, if this equals 1, then I'll do 5, 7 times flip. Coin flips at 0. I feel like this is always too loud every single time. Yeah, let's see how that goes. And just put the line there, put the dot there, that's all. And I think I have to return it. So let's see if that works for just drawing out, just placing the dot correctly. Oh, and I guess this should be a cumulative probability. So this should be 7 times cumulative probability. I think that's how always redraw works. Yeah, you return something. So for now, I'll say self.add draw flip data. And all I should see is a dot placed there. Great. Now what I want is for this to move to the left with time. And then as coins are flipped, I'll add new dots. So is that doable? Yeah, that should be doable. So I can draw flip data at any time. I actually want to do an always redraw, so I'll do that. I'll say, let me check this. Line integral equals always redraw of a lambda. Okay. What are you plotting? Oh, so here's the idea. I want to have, on the left here, I can have coins being flipped over that are heads or tails. Then on the right, there's going to be a graph, which is tracking the current probability computed from the number of heads and the number of tails. And so eventually that's going to tend toward a half. I just want to do it live, computed from the number of heads and the number of tails. And so eventually that's going to tend toward a half. I just want to do it live. So let me, what should I name this? We call this the probability graph. Goes always redraw, draw flip data. And I don't need to pass it anything yet, but eventually I have to pass it in. I have to pass in a value tracker. Okay, so then if I add in probability graph, do entropy, can you elaborate on what you mean by do entropy? Because I will have to do more than one of these probably. Okay, let me put a value tracker here. I'll just call this time tracker. I'm going to start at 0. I'm going to do self.lay the time tracker dot set value. And I'll just put it to like 5 of like a biased coin. That could be interesting. Yeah, I should make it a parameter so that like you can tell that it's biased over time. Okay, I'm going to set this time tracker, and how would I want to do this? The place, all of the coin, okay, based on the value of the time tracker, all of the dots will have to move. Right. Yeah, I think that's true. Actually, not quite. I want the first dot to be on the left. So I put this as 0 here. And I did something wrong. What did I do? Unexpected argument value tracker passed to scene.play. Oh. That newfangled syntax. One day I'll get used to it. Okay, so there's the dot. So now, as time passes, I'm going to want another dot to appear. Okay. So I put in a time parameter. And then I'll put in time tracker.getValue. So that should do the same thing. Now, if the time is like at a certain value, that's when I'm going to want to add to the coin flips and redraw. So right now it's, what's it going to, 5? Let's say if time, if the length of the coin flips is less than time, then I want to add a coin flip. And then update the graph. I need to look up these value trackers. It's just a callback that gives you the state of the object. A value tracker is it's like a mobject that contains only a single value. And so you can animate that value being set. It contains a single point, I guess. And so because it's an object, you can animate the process of its value being updated to something. So it's pretty useful for like tracking time. That's like one of the best things for it. So it's pretty useful for like tracking time. That's like one of the best things for it. Okay, so let's see. I'll just start this at 1. If the length is less than the time, that's when I'll just add a new coin flip and then add a new dot. And that'll be all I do right now. Yeah, it's pretty useful. Say coin flips dot append. How do I do this? I have to import random. I can do random dot choice. I think I can just do this. 1, 0. Does that work? Oh, I mean import random. Random dot choice 1, 0. Okay. Wait, does that have to be a list? Yes, it does. Okay. So I'll append that. Then I have to update the graph. But I think I'll be updating the graph all the time. Add a coin flip. I'll have to compute the cumulative probability no matter what. Which, what would that probability even be? Just number of heads divided by total? So cumulative probability equals coin flips dot count 1 divided by the length. Yeah, I think I'll only have to do this if I add a coin flip, because this is going to determine where I add the new point. So add the coin flip, recompute the cumulative probability, place the new dot. I got to return a V group. Move to, this will have to go at 5 in this case. Then 7 times the cumulative probability. I'll add that to the result. And is that it? Coin flips is if the length is less than the time. Add this new dot. Oh, I wouldn't add the dot here. I just compute the cumulative probability. Then here, I'll redraw the graph no matter what. And this will be for flip in coin flips. Get a dot. Move it to... Oh, I'll have to find the cumulative probability at each of those points. Which probably shouldn't be so hard. But what I'll do instead, I'll just save another array. So that'll start at 1, I guess. So just append that, then I'll do probabilities. Append that. Then for flipping the coin flips, for flip probability in the zip, the coin flips and the probabilities. Going to... Oh, actually, I'll only need the probabilities. Wait for probability. get the dot, move it to the end, then 7 times probability, and add it to the result. Then at the end, I'll just return the result. Can you do a Monte Carlo type thing? Monte Carlo is probably correct. Yeah, it's gonna be Monte Carlo. Can you do a Monte Carlo type thing? Monte Carlo is probably correct. Yeah, it's gonna be Monte Carlo. Okay, I think this should show all of the dots accumulating on the right of the screen. Yeah, and that's what's happening. And they are kind of moving toward the middle. Let me bump this up. Why are they moving so far down? Okay, whatever. Now I'm gonna just start moving the dots to the left. So it shouldn't just be 5, 7. Honestly, I need to fix the numbers on this graph. So it's gonna go from 0 to I think the x-axis just shouldn't be labeled. So maybe the numbers to show is just empty list. And hopefully the x-axis won't be labeled. Good. I don't want this to go from 0 to 7. This should go from 0 to 1. Well, I guess I went to 0 to 1 from 0 to 1. Numbers to show is only 0 and 1. Okay. Great, now I need to make it taller. Unit size, I think this should do it. If I make this like 5 or 6. Cool. Let me show... I want to show 0.5 as well. But I don't know if the graph will let me do that. It probably won't. Well, it shows 0, and it puts it at the 0.5 location. Okay, I just won't put it in. I might put that in manually. But I have this. This doesn't have to be 5 now. It should just be 1 and probability. Or what's the X range? It goes up to 5? Okay, 5. That's fine. Yeah, I'm going to have to... Well, actually, I'm not sure what you mean by renormalize. If you mean update the probabilities at each turn, I'm just going to store them to a list, which is not as elegant, but whatever. But I am going to end up moving these points to the side. Okay. So now, just call it a 10. Well, I'd have to, okay. Let me try to just make it a 10. I think this will put it off the side of the screen. Which right now it does. So I'd have to do like x-axis config, put the x-axis, so put this to 10. And then I think this will make the graph go off the side of the screen. Okay, well no, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, now then how to draw it. I'll want the dots to be moving all the time. So honestly, I think the first one has to be handled differently. Like, for I probability and enumerate, if the I is 0, then I'm moving it to 0 probability. Else, get the dot again, then I'm moving it to 0 probability. Else, get the dot again. I'm not going to move it to 1 probability or 10 probability. I'm going to want to move it to a distance which is scaled by the amount of time that the simulation has been running. So would this just be like 10 divided by time? You'll have something in the denominator like that, but if I have time be the total length in x, then I want this to be 10 divided by the number of dots, right? I'll call this x offset. It's going to be like 10 times I divided by the length of the coin flips. Or not the length of the coin flips, but the time. So it'll move further to the right with the later dots. All of them will move to the left as time grows. Okay, maybe this will work, maybe it won't, but... And they are all the way to the right. So why is that happening? Is this being past the time tracker's value? Oh, I didn't use the variable. Great. It's just going to the wrong number. Wait, am I doing this right? Random, not choice. That's correct. Let's make this like 15. Okay, I guess maybe there are just a lot of tails or something one time. Okay, so there are a few things to do. If I'm actually going to zip... Actually, how should I do this? I do want to do a zip of the coin flips and the probabilities. So this will be for I haven't done an enumerate combined with a zip before. Can I just do... enumerate a zip? Okay, first I'm going to see if this doesn't crash, because I feel like it might. And make my text bigger. Yeah, okay, so that crashed. Maybe I have to do it like this. Okay, so that worked. You might, and yeah, you color each one. That's why I have to pass in the flips. So if I equals 0, dot equals dot move to here, otherwise... Okay, I can factor this out. Okay. Here I can do... Okay, I'm gonna have to color it like here, I think. I'm going to get the dot. And then I'm gonna want to color it, I think. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Dot equals dot. If flip is 1, then dot set color red. Else dot set color blue. That's gonna set the color. Then I have to set the position. So it's gonna be first the x offset. If I equals